the top administration officials. I mean, bottom line, it was a very successful mission with the Houthis.
Yeah.
Long time coming. We know that the Biden administration had redesignated them as not terrorist organizations. So the big picture is this was a success. When you go into some of the weeds and the back and forth and the Atlantic saying basically that they're going to put all this chat out, and now the question is whether or not, how this reporter was even added. It is something that we know the left will continue to pick apart for days. So what's your best advice here? What's the exposure? What does the White House need to do to kind of, signal, not to be funny here, but there was no concern about national security, because that right there, we already know there's a lawsuit being filed that this is some type of security breach, KT.
Look, they cannot stand the fact that this was yet another Donald Trump successful military operation. They're now opening up the Red Sea. They're taking out the Houthis, who have diverted global shipping just with a few guys, in Yemen. And then President Trump has done what President Biden should have done. He's gone in and he's destroying the Houthis, and he's opening up global shipping. Now, the Democrats and the left and the legacy media can't bear to report on another Trump success. So they're all fixated on this little thing of, obviously the administration screwed up. This guy should not have been on this group chat, but nothing really significant other than inside stories were shared on the group chat. There's no national security information. There are no war plans. In fact, I think Mr. Goldberg has a little bit of explaining he needs to do to the American people, because he implied that there were sources and methods revealed, that there were war plans, that he was protecting the name of a
Embellishing.
Look, he flat out lied. He did the same thing with this that he did with the Russia hoax. This is not a credible journalist. This is a guy who has shown in the past that he has the ability to take a nugget of a story and then spin it into something completely negative and against Donald Trump. So I'd like to understand what made him think that he could come out to the American people and say, oh, look, I was privy to all of this information. I'm such a great patriot. I did not reveal it to the American people. Now that he's revealed it, it's a nothing burger.
Right. Well, I think he thought, legacy media would play along, which certainly indeed they are. But one thing, now that we're reading all the chats and, you say they screwed up, you just have to wonder if there are some missteps happening here, because J.D. Vance, it's now revealed, saying that he thinks we are making a mistake. That's what he wrote in the text right here, saying the strongest reason to do this is to send a message, but I'm not sure the president is aware on how inconsistent this is with his message on Europe right now. The chat also shows John Ratcliffe, head of the CIA, saying to delay would not negatively impact us. Hegseth saying, I understand your concerns, but he says waiting, we look indecisive, Israel takes an action first, or Gaza ceasefire falls apart, and we don't get to start this on our own terms. So these are conversations that probably the administration didn't want privy to all Americans, but now they're here, KT. What do we do with that information? And does it show some sort of maybe, as you say, screw up, but also, just what's going on there and why this is even being discussed on Signal and not, say, an email or a phone call?
Right. So I think the screw up is merely that Jeffrey Goldberg somehow got himself onto that group chat. That's the only screw up. Because what I took away from that is saying, oh, wow, these are the senior most officials. They're talking to each other in real time. That explains how President Trump is able to do so many things so quickly, so decisively. These guys are all talking to each other directly, not through layers and layers and layers of bureaucracy. The other thing is that they're collaborating with each other. They're bringing up really important points. And then at the end of the day, they're coming to some conclusion. Normally, Bianca, all the administrations I've served in, people say that the biggest war America's ever in is the one between the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense. And in this case, we now see complete cooperation between the senior leadership. And so I think it's all good. And really, the biggest takeaway from this is these guys are saying in private exactly what they're saying in public. There's no mystery here. There's no behind the curtain.
Well, there's thoughtful conversations.
They're thoughtful, and the senior leaders making them. This is not, layers of bureaucracy. Let me tell you what normally happens in a situation like this. You have a situation room meeting, and then layers and layers of bureaucracy go through meeting after meeting after meeting to do the same kind of thing these guys did in the Bed Tent.